Welcome to Vive Europe's official podcast on living your best life in Europe. Whether you're an expat looking to build your dream life, a digital nomad searching for the perfect place to call home, or someone curious about life in Europe, this podcast is your go-to resource. Without further ado, let's get started. We hope you enjoy it.
So I lived many years in the US in a much colder place than Lisbon, real winters with snow and everything. But once I was in my house, it's fine. Once I went to college, you get to your classroom, it's fine, it's warm. So here, it's just not the way it works. You need to understand that you need to get a portable heater and you need to put a coat that's like a jacket, a sweatshirt while it's winter and you're in your house. And I think it's because I'm more, I think some people are more like, they feel they're like my husband is a person who's always hot. He feels when it's hot, he's like, oh, it's so hot. And when it's hot, I'm like, oh, so nice, the warmth of the sun on my skin, and when it's a little bit cold, I'm like, oh, my feet are freezing. And so it's really, what kind of body temperature do you have? What affects you most, the hot or the cold? And for me, it's the cold. So that was a challenge for me at first. And as the years go by, I feel like I'm less sensitive to it. I don't know if
Really?
like the first winter, it's like, oh, I always like bundled up in scarves and I don't like this. I don't like to be cold in my house and you have to turn on the heater. And as the years go by, I feel like I'm less
Get used to it,
affected.
right?
Yeah. So that was a challenge for me. I don't know if it was for you and Lila.
For us, it was. I won't lie. I prefer the cold weather. So for me, it was a challenge, but it was a good challenge because I like to stay warm. Uh, Try to stay warm at home. There are no heaters, so I try to get blankets and use sweatshirts. But I like the feeling of being under
Oh
so many
no.
layers
Oh, I
of
don't like it at
clothes.
all. I
I
feel like
like
I'm
it.
stuck.
No, I like it very much, and having some soup or some some something to get warm. I like the feeling. But the here living in Braga, the challenge was the rain. It rained all
Oh,
day,
okay.
all the time. Like it was all the time.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
carry an umbrella no matter where I went. So the rain was it got me to a stage where I was really tired of just uh, seeing the rain. It's very
Mm-hmm.
it, it's different.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's okay to rain once in a while, but if it's a lot of rain, sometimes it gets you down a little bit, right?
it gets you down. You don't want to leave home. You want to stay home. So even on weekends where we could be at a park, just enjoying the place, we just want to stay home. It was raining, so
Yes.
this was a challenge. And
Mm-hmm.
communication, as I mentioned before, was a big challenge. Trying
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this, people say, I don't know if that's true, but here in the north, people speak even more quickly and
I've heard that.
yeah, and without saying all like syllables or letters for the word. And
Not only that, but we have words that, they have words that we don't, and we have words, and then we have the same word that means different things.
yeah.
So that's like tricky.
Yeah, I remember when I heard about boleia for the first time. I was, what?
Uh,
Boleia?
oh my
And
gosh, yes. I thought it was a food. So somebody
yeah, and
said it was horrible. They're like, "Do you want bolea?" I was like, "Oh no, I already ate." I don't know why it sounded like it was like something to eat. And you
yeah,
can tell you can tell people what it means actually.
Yeah, just take a ride.
Yeah, like
Uh,
it's like, do you want to ride? Do you want
yeah,
to boleia, right? And we
exactly,
don't say that in Brazilian Portuguese. Yeah,
exactly. In Brazil, it's carona, so it's
completely
funny. So
different.
yeah, it's really different. Communication was an issue. The like making friends. Yeah, I guess. No, of course, the process, as you mentioned, the know what to do. It can be very complicated. Getting to register at healthcare system, and then there's this document that you need to go that place, and when you go to that place, they say that you need to go to that other place. So you kind of trying to
Hmm.
understand how it works,
You really
right?
have to like persistently go after the information you want.
Yeah,
Like I needed to open an activity in the finance department. It's actually really simple, but you really have to like do your research. That's what I mean.
yeah,
Or get help
yeah.
because
Sometimes I agree with you.
yeah.
Sometimes you read about things, and in real life it's kind of different. It's
Hmm.
yes, only by living here or getting some help from someone who has gone through the same path, you will really understand how it works. But it's fun. I
Yes,
like I
yes.
like the challenge. It's when it's all gone, then I like the challenge. But while I'm there trying to understand, then it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I guess going through that process and then being successful at it, right? In the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving to the next one, Rita. So it's related to benefits of living in Portugal. So here it says, what are some of the most rewarding aspects of living in Portugal? How has your lifestyle changed since you moved here?
Oh, so many things. So many things, I think.
Really?
Um, yes. So you don't actually need a car if you live in big city centers like Lisbon or some areas of Porto. But we decided to get a car, and the reason, and this has to do with the benefit, is that there are a lot of day trips you can do that are absolutely amazing. You know, you have a wonderful beach that's an hour away. If you go north, you have the mountains. And what we like to do is get in the car and go visit castles. So we visited many, many castles, and it's so much history. And I think for people who live in Europe, it's just like, there's some Roman ruins over there. They're like, oh my God, Roman ruins? What? This, you know, there's a castle from, you know, 10th century or 12th century. And I think it's pretty amazing to be surrounded by history and to be able to do that. You just get in a car and you visit these sites. And I think um, that's a big change and a big benefit to be able to live in Europe is to be close to history and have those experiences. So that's a big benefit. I think despite another thing, like I think despite the fact that the prices are not as low as they used to be, it's a fact, right? Lisbon, especially in Lisbon, um, the prices are higher than 5 years ago, than 10 years ago, but still, um, what I pay, I choose to have private health insurance. Well, now I have it through work, but when I didn't have it through work, I used to pay. And the amount I pay in private health insurance, a good one, compared to what I had to pay in Brazil, seriously, it's like, I don't know, probably in Brazil I would have to pay, let me try to do the math, 3 times more probably of what I'm able to pay here for. even now that the prices are higher, okay?
Hmm.
And if I couldn't pay, I could use the public health system, okay? I choose to, well, I have it through work, but I would choose to have it because for certain things like exams or emergencies, and plus it's reasonable price. So that's a huge benefit. So
Yeah.
the health system. Um, you can talk a little bit because I have so many benefits.
Yeah. So
So,
there is one that's kind of related to the safety environment that we live in, that is being able to go to like green places, parks,
mhm.
go to an open event, just being there, and without being scared of something to
Yeah.
happen to you. But I really love going to parks to like just
Yes.
sit on a bench, just watch the surroundings, just chill out. And this
Yeah.
was impossible in Brazil. You were always worried that something can happen. So you were kind of, when I lived there, I was, remember, that was kind of in a bubble where there was this places that I would go that I feel less, a little more safe than
Mhm.
others. But here you can, if you let's see, Google, there's a place you recently told me, it's, I guess it was a park.
Oh, it's
um,
so nice. It's the Calouste Gulbenkian Museum. Did you
exactly.
go there?
Not yet.
You have to
I will.
go.
I
It's
will.
like, I mean,
So
it's really,
this,
really
yeah,
good.
this kind, just like small things that you can do without
Yeah.
thinking about, like, will I be
Yeah.
safe there? Of course you will. You just go
Yeah.
there.
And it's like freedom, right? I think like you can do that in Brazil in some parts, but you don't have total freedom
Yeah,
to do that anywhere, right?
yeah,
Here, there's 100% freedom of, oh, I can go here, I can go here, I can go here. It's okay.
yeah,
Nothing's gonna happen.
yeah. And maybe another good aspect is the transportation. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
very easy to commute here. It's a small country, and as you mentioned, there are mountains, there are green places, there are beaches, there are so many things in such a small place.
Yeah,
And there's a train station that go from north to south. There are the buses, the subway, so it's very easy to commute here. So
yeah.
this is another, like, thing that I really enjoy living here.
And they're improving it. Hopefully, also due to the environment, I really think we should focus on trains. And I've heard there will be a train now directly to Madrid.
I heard about it as well.
So these things are just, it's wonderful. I mean, if you plan, okay, so the salaries, everybody knows, Portugal, everybody knows this about Portugal. The salaries are not high. But if you plan well, you're able to do things.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and if you don't, you're able to drive to Spain. Um, if you really plan and you buy, you know, before the peak high seasons, you can get good deals. This is a huge benefit of being able to visit other countries as well.
yeah. Well, certainly, that's a big benefit. Being able to just
Hmm.
get a plane, you pay just if you pay that low fare, you pay a not expensive flight ticket to France, to Spain,
Hmm.
Italy, and you can even spend like a weekend there. It's not that expensive, right?
Yeah.
I agree. And
Just one
this,
more thing to
okay,
say
sorry.
about food. I don't know if you have this feeling, but I feel like the quality of the food, of the bread, of the fruit, of the fish here is like top quality. Like you can
Yeah.
taste it, and so that's another benefit. I just
No,
wanted
no,
to
but I
say.
agree. It's
Yeah.
very like natural. It's not processed. It's
There are
yeah.
less like
Nowadays,
toxins and yeah,
especially if
sorry.
you live, if you no, but if you live in the coastal region, being able to get this very fresh food,
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's not expensive. If you compare to other countries, you get a nice, like say, fish and
Yeah.
uh, and side dishes for like 15, 20 euros, depending on where you go. You can even go to a very like local place, like family restaurant, and you have like
Yes.
very good meal, and you won't pay that much. It's
Yes.
amazing. And just to close this talk, Rita, um, in terms of advice, is there any advice you would share with someone who is planning to move to Portugal, or maybe they are still in that stage where they are considering many countries to move to here in Europe? Do you have any advice?
Well, let's see. One piece of advice that I have, and I know, and I've already mentioned this in this talk, but is that if it's possible for you to visit, I think it's a good idea to visit. It's not the same as living here, but I think it's good to come and do a scouting trip, see how you feel, right? I can tell you millions of things about Portugal, but you need to be here to
True,
see, right? And to
true.
feel, do you feel good here, right? Is this the kind of energy you want? Like, so I would say if that's possible, come beforehand. If not, if not, then do your research. Um,
Yeah.
do your research online, look at videos. Um, what else? Let me see.
I have one also
Yeah.
while you think about the next one. And we always, it's kind of a cliche, but it's important to mention that is when, let's say, you are thinking of moving to Portugal, and just think that, when you're moving to another place, you should come with like open arms. Don't come with
Hmm.
your, at least try not to come with your uh, way of doing things, some things in your home country that
Oh,
can be
that's a
related
really
to
good one.
work, to how to behave in certain situations, in certain circumstances. Just come, try to learn from their culture, and of course to adapt. You are moving to the new country. You were have to be willing to change in a way,
Yes.
not come with your like way of thinking about
Yeah.
things.
You can't be, that's such a good tip. I would say that's the most important tip. You just pointed out the best tip. In any process of relocating and immigrating, and remember, this is your own choice you're making, right? But when you make this choice, be conscious that you're going to a new, like a whole different country where the rules are different, the culture is different, and of course you can do things that you like, but this you need to respect the community and you need to respect the rules, right? um, of course there's a healthy exchange in it as well, so it's common sense, right? So you can come here and you kind of you have to evaluate, okay, how do people act here? Oh, they do it this way, okay. I'm not saying like be extremely rigid, maybe you can even exchange your cultural view, but you need to, and there's a beautiful thing in exchanging cultural views and mixing and seeing, getting the best from each culture. But since you're the one moving to a different country, you really need to be attent as to as to and respect people as to what is the norm, right? So that I think that's the best tip.
Thank you. And I agree. I think it's very important to come with open arms and use it as something that will make you grow. You will be
Mm-hmm.
like in a new environment with new people. You have to adapt, and it's good. It's good that you are here. So, just as I mentioned before, those um, this kind of way of thinking about work that Portuguese usually have. It's good that we are not so focused on working all the time, that we have our own like
Mm-hmm.
time. So I kind of learn in a good way how to behave, how to deal with these interactions that we have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you try to see the positive in that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, I think that's a really good tip.
Yeah. So, do you have any other advice, Rita, or something you can think
Hmm.
now? I'm also trying to think something. Um,
Um,
oh,
I think you
the
mentioned, sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it's definitely the experience of moving to a different country is definitely one where you will grow. And you mentioned, right? Think of it as a, as growing. And I really do feel like that. You're going, and it's not going to be what can I say, like a fairy tale and everything's going to be perfect and wonderful. Wow. That's just not the way it is. You're going to have like incredible experiences, and you're going to run into some difficult things that are going to make you get out of your comfort zone and kind of have to understand what's happening. So it's up and down and up and down, and but you know the important thing is you're growing and you have more positive experiences than negative ones. But you can't come also with this kind of dream. It's don't get me wrong, it's you know what I mean, right? It's great, but you're going to have learning moments, and
Of course,
it's
I
much
agree.
better than accommodating to just, I
Yeah,
don't know, you know.
I agree. Totally, totally. And yeah, I guess we were able to address some of our experience living here in Portugal. Hopefully, um, that will be useful for you. In the Yeah, we are here. If you need anything here in Portugal or anything that's related to the relocation part, feel free to reach out to us. And it's always, Rita, thank you for having this friendly, nice talk with you. As I mentioned before, this is I really enjoy spending some time with you, sharing some like experience that we had here in Portugal, even to know how was your uh, experience
Mm-hmm.
and compare with mine. Each one has its own path, but it's good to know that it all worked out for you living here in Portugal. And for me, I would not change it, not even a bit of the experience that I had to go through. And I'm really happy living here.
Yes,
And
I know. I am too. Yeah.
thank
Mm.
you.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
For tuning in for this episode. There's plenty more where that came from, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave a review and share it with others who might find it helpful. For more resources and personalized guidance, visit videurope.com. Follow us on social media for the latest tips and updates. Until next time, keep dreaming big and we'll be here when you are ready to make it happen.